Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara. I make content about holistic self-love. In this video, I'm going to talk about sobriety and dry January, and I'm going to share some tips for you if you have done dry January and you are thinking of continuing. I'm inspired to make this video because last night I gave a speech at Barcelona Women's Network, and it was all about my journey to sobriety and the many benefits that I am experiencing. I was also inspired to make this video because I did publish a post yesterday and someone commented on it saying that there are not enough voices out there talking about the virtues or the benefits of sobriety. It's more about the dangers of alcohol. Yes, I want to really focus on the positive side. Also, I think the word sober can be quite problematic. I remember last year, actually, for Dry January, I put something on LinkedIn about sobriety, and a sober entrepreneur group reached out to me and they wanted to feature me on their page, and I was thrilled. And then when someone commented on the post that they made about me, they were talking about being in recovery. And I just wanted to say, no, I am not in recovery. Not all sober people are recovering alcoholics. If that's your story, then that's your story. But it's not the case for everyone. For many people, it's not about avoiding alcohol. It's about choosing sobriety, which is not exactly the same thing. But I do believe that even if someone is not by definition an alcoholic, there's a lot of abuse of alcohol. I mean, I was brought up in England, I grew up in England, Irish family. So in those cultures, alcohol is really abused quite a lot. It's a big part of society as well. It's a society that brings the community together, the pub, especially in rural Ireland. And binge drinking was kind of normalized at universities. I think it's less so these days. There are some statistics that say, I don't know what they are, but there are more and more sober people among the younger generations. And I think that might be due to wanting to look good on social media perhaps. But when I was at university, there was no Facebook, no social media, so you could pass out and it was very unlikely that there would be pictures of you published anywhere, But it became normalized to have amnesia, not know how you got home, wake up and then just be like, oh my God, what did I do last night? What did I say last night? What did I do last night? And also just be in parties where people had passed out and you had to step over them. And for me, when I went to live in Paris, I experienced a whole different way of drinking. I actually stopped drinking completely, but I was able to see my culture from the outside, and I realized that not everyone gets drunk to the point of amnesia every weekend. That cannot be normal. It's not healthy. So I decided, actually with the friends I had at the time, I was inspired to give up alcohol completely because I was not around these triggers. And that's a very important point I wanted to raise on if you have done dry January and you're thinking about continuing, is that the triggers can be people or places or both. And people, I mean, for me, when I gave up alcohol more recently, which was 10 years ago now, it was at a time in my life when some of my, most loyal drinking pals had left Barcelona. So on one hand, I was very sad, but on the other hand, I gained this whole new, I reinvented my social life. I made a more daytime social life, and I joined lots of daytime activities that would kind of encourage sober living. So that was really interesting. And also now when I go back to those old triggers, I'm not triggered anymore because I have actually made this big distinction between the alcohol me and the sober me kind of thing. And also places, I think if you are feeling triggered in certain environments such as bars or clubs, maybe it could be a good idea not to go to those places for a while, because what tends to happen in my experience of giving things up is that at first there is a period of temptation, and over time, as you get used to this new living lifestyle habit that you have chosen, that temptation becomes rejection, and then people are breathing in your face with alcohol breath and slurring and repeating themselves. It just looks like really bad, and I'm like, oh my God, that was me. That was me. Yeah. So I do think if you are deciding if you're going to not pick up a drink this weekend, I think it would be good to maybe reassess or acknowledge, analyze what are those triggers in your life and maybe try to replace them. Or if you have a friend who is particularly triggering, maybe say to them or ask them for some support, because that can be really quite sad sometimes. I remember one of my friends who had some health issues was going on holiday, and he was a bit afraid of speaking up to the group of friends he was with to explain why he wasn't drinking, because they would all put peer pressure on him to make him drink. But if they are really your friends, they will not do that. Your friends are there to support you. It's not just about having a party friend, and maybe it's time to reassess those friendships as well. So, and also I do think that a lot of people who give up alcohol, it can start off by being a temporary decision, like dry January or sober October, and then it could be something that becomes maybe try another month and maybe not say forever, and just try and do maybe build up build up the giving up kind of thing. For me, it was also a temporary decision, which also makes it it's less daunting, less intimidating, and to actually give up something that might be a big part of your life. For me, it was just I was preparing for a photo shoot, and the photo shoot kept getting delayed, and over that time of this delaying, it coincided with, as I mentioned, friends leaving Barcelona, but it wasn't really a conscious choice. Those were circumstances around me. But over time, when I was I'd given up and I was wanting to prepare for a photo shoot, because giving up alcohol does help with a bit of weight loss. I wanted to give up. I gave up pizza, chocolate, and alcohol, and I was imagining that as soon as that photo shoot happened, I would be like down at the shop buying wine again. But that did not happen, and I'm so grateful for that. So that's a good thing to do, is maybe give up for a week, a month, and then see what happens after that time, and maybe one more month, and just see how it goes. Some people can have a couple of drinks a year, but for others it's just best to give up completely, because one drink can lead to two and to three, etc. And I know for me it's just better to have given up completely and have no desire now. And also, I don't really want to drink calories. I want to drink things that are good for me. I like drinking carbonated water. There's this water in Spain called Vichy Catalan, which I love. It has a natural bubble and a slightly salty taste, so I tend to ask for that when I go out, with lemon and sometimes with mint leaves as well. And some people, when they see that, they without the mint leaves, but it just looks like a gin and tonic. And it doesn't raise any questions of, what are you drinking? Why aren't you drinking? And what else do I like to drink? I just like herbal teas. I drink a lot of herbal teas at home. And also I do like kombucha, which is kind of like a more grown-up non-alcoholic. Well, there's maybe like a tiny percentage of alcohol in that, but nothing significant. But it's something that's healthy for you. Because I do think a lot of these non-alcoholic drinks, they're full of sugar, so that might not be something to do. But from time to time, it's nice to have a mocktail. Yeah, so I hope you are inspired to continue with a healthy lifestyle if you've done dry January and you want to continue. I do believe that alcohol is a very dangerous substance. Some people can handle it, others can't. But it can bring out the worst in people for sure. And yeah, it's not something, it can be very unpleasant to see. I've had great times with alcohol in the past. I've had really fun times. But I've had, I used to actually really look forward to those moments of, letting my hair down at the weekend, or even, dancing and bonding with friends with these silly conversations that you have. Even with former partners, I used to really enjoy with one of my first boyfriends, like getting a bit drunk, because I felt like I could say everything that was on my mind that I didn't have the courage to say. But it's much better to try and do these things without alcohol if you can. But now I've created a lifestyle and a life that I don't feel that I need to escape from on a Friday evening, which is wonderful. And if you feel like you need to escape from your life, maybe it's time to look at something in your life that needs to change and create other things to look forward to. I think that's a good idea. And also maybe some more kind of self-love practices, such as having nice massages, going for spa days, connecting with nature, things like that. Anyway, I hope this inspires you to love yourself, and whether you drink or not, drink with caution. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon for some more videos. If you have any ideas or content requests, don't hesitate to leave a comment below, or even contact me at venus@venussahara.org, and I will think about making a video on whatever you like. Okay, thanks for watching. Mwah.